Hello guys, how you doing? Hope you guys are having a good time. So this is the beginning of my holiday study or our holiday study, and this is Osteenblaq, and I welcome us all to class. All right, so from the outline, there's a course outline sent to the Telegram community where I'll be using to study and recording videos of what I study, just short videos of what I study. So for the first, we have three parts. We have the first one, which is understanding structure, and we have the second one, which is understanding zones and AOI, and we have the third one, which is understanding AOI, and the fourth one, which is understanding HRC the way I understand it, right? It's just short videos. They are not going to be in depth. It's not like going to be a very detailed video, but just short videos of understanding. So the first one is understanding structure. And under that understanding structure, we have ideal structure. What is ideal situation in the market? What is an ideal structure? If we are to be asked what an ideal structure is, if I am to be asked what an ideal structure is, this is what I'm going to say. An ideal structure is when our support mitigates resistance. 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 This is an ideal situation in the market. When our support mitigates resistance. It's an ideal situation. So we can say this is ideal. This is an ideal situation in the market. Or we can say this is a balanced market, BAL. This is a balanced market, right? When support mitigates resistance, this is a balanced market in price. Now, when we talk about mitigation, it simply means I'll talk about that when we get to mitigation, but it simply means price, excuse me, simply means price tapping into it, right? An non-ideal situation in the market is when support doesn't mitigate resistance. These are resistance, these are support. There's an unmitigation there. This is an unideal. Let us say this particular one is an unideal. This is an unideal situation in the market. So this is an imbalanced market. IMB. This is an imbalanced market because support doesn't mitigate resistance, right? We have something like this. Or let us, excuse me. We have something like this. If you notice, this place is an imbalance, is a balanced market, BAL. Then here didn't mitigate into this one. So this is an imbalanced market, IMB. This is an imbalanced market. So in such scenario, we can now say this is an imbalanced market. So, and this is what is called structural liquidity. When we talk about structural liquidity is when support doesn't mitigate resistance. And every other flow, every candle is a structure range. Every structure range is a candle. So when we see something like this is a structure range, a swing low to a swing high. When we see something like this, on a certain higher time frame, you can see it as a candle. This can be a candle, right? That's where we could talk about FVG, fair value gap. Here a candle, a low doesn't mitigate a high. This is a structural imbalance in price. And also we are going to be talking about, so before I continue, let us just quickly check that out on the chart. Let's just quickly check that out on the chart. Okay, let's just use this place. Let us just use this place. You can see that this particular place is Price actually had to come here to mitigate this. This particular resistance mitigated the support. Price had to come back to mitigate it. This particular resistance mitigated the support. Price had to come back to mitigate this. This particular resistance mitigated the support. So we can say this is a balanced market. Balanced. Because this mitigated this. This has come to mitigate this. It even went as far as mitigating this. So this is a balanced market. BAL. This went to mitigate this. So this is a balanced market. BAL. And also looking at, let us now go to somewhere else. Let us now look for an imbalanced market. As you can see, this particular one is not balanced. There's an imbalance from here. Excuse me. There's an imbalance from here to this one. There's an imbalance from here to this one. So this is an imbalanced market in price. Imbalanced market. Why? Because the support has not mitigated, the resistance hasn't mitigated this particular support. So these are the types of, this is a type of structural liquidity. For me, I'm an HRC trader, so I have different liquidities. I have HRC liquidity and I have a structural liquidity. So looking at this is a structural liquidity in price. This particular one is a structural liquidity in price. Then the last one we are going to talk about for this particular part one, we are going to talk about money transfer. What is money transfer? Money transfer simply means when the last support or resistance around the structure range has been properly mitigated, then it means we have proper money transfer. If we have something like this, we have something like this, and price rated it, and price did something like this. If price maybe taps into this one without tapping into this one, there's still an imbalance between this and this. So this is not money transfer. If price taps into this one, right, without tapping into this one, there's still an imbalance between here and here. So this is not money transfer. If price now taps into this one and creates a new high, then we have proper money transfer from here to here. That if price reads this particular place, price is reading everything because power has now been shifted from this place to this particular place. So money has been transferred from here to here. So money transfer simply means when the last support or resistance around our structure range. Our structure range is from a swing high to a swing low. The last support or resistance around our structure range. Remember the basic structural liquidity. Ideal situation in the market states that when an ideal situation is when a resistance mitigates a support. When a resistance mitigates a support is an ideal situation. An unideal situation is when a resistance has fully mitigated a support. That's an unideal situation is when, unideal situation is when a support has not fully mitigated the resistance or has not mitigated a resistance. So in this particular place, this is the last support here or the last support here. So price now came and tapped into this one and used it to continue order flow. So money has now been transferred from this low to this other low. So that is money transfer. So price breaking the low that has money transfer. Price breaking the low that has money transfer. If we have something like this, and price broke this, use this to continue order flow. Use this, maybe. Now, excuse me. If we have something like this, if we have something like this, and maybe price uses this, there's still an imbalance between this and this. And if price uses this, there's still an imbalance between this and this, right? So if price now use this particular one, money has now been transferred. Why? Because there is no longer on mitigation. There is we say money is transferred if there is an on mitigation within that structure. But an absence of an on mitigation within that structure, it means we have proper money transfer. So it means that money has been transferred. So we can call this MTR. This MTR. So money has been transferred, meaning if price raise this particular one and does something like this is already VUS. VUS. Price can pull back, mitigate liquidity, and just come to raid everything. So this is called money transfer. And money is, we can say money has been transferred if and only if price uses there to establish another flow, meaning to create a new high or a new low. If price uses this without creating a new high, even if it does this, it can still come back here and still do this, as long as it has not created a new high. But if we have something like this, price uses this one to create a new high, we can now say this is money transfer. So price reading here means price is reading here. So that's all for the part one. See you tomorrow for the part two of Osteenblaq's weekend study. So have a wonderful day, guys.